If you think it's all just fan speculation, then you haven't heard Jimin's words today. Exactly 1 hour ago, Park Jimin finally broke the silence with a statement that made millions of ARMY hearts race faster. Jungkook is not distancing himself. He is protecting. A short sentence, delivered with a trembling yet firm voice in an exclusive interview with a leading Korean media outlet, marked the beginning of an emotional wave sweeping across the BTS fan community worldwide. For months, the public could only guess at the reason behind Jungkook's seemingly changed demeanor since entering his mandatory military service. Now, through Jimin, a major piece of that puzzle has finally come to light, and what emerged is not just a clarification, but a heart-shaking confession. He knows everyone is watching him, waiting, judging, but he chooses to remain silent. Not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much, said Jimin, directing his gaze straight into the camera. There was no hesitation in his tone. He knew what he was saying would make headlines, but he also knew it was time. Public reaction? Explosive. Social media was instantly flooded with thousands of hashtags, emotional responses, and throwback videos and small moments between Jungkook and Jimin that now felt more significant than ever. But this statement isn't about nostalgia. It's about a truth that has long been tightly locked away. When he made that big decision, I was there, Jimin continued, referring to Jungkook's decision that remains largely unexplained by the agency. He sat quietly for almost an hour, didn't speak, just stared at the ceiling. Then he said, "I will protect what I have to protect, even if it means sacrificing everything." What did Jungkook mean? Who is so important that he's willing to change his career path, shut off part of his life from the spotlight, and undergo military service with a different intensity than the other members? Speculation exploded, but Jimin refused to answer directly. "I don't think it's my place to explain everything. But what you need to know is Jungkook never makes decisions without a reason," he said, offering a faint smile that seemed to carry 1,000 untold stories. In a world full of rumors and assumptions, Jimin didn't provide dry facts or a long list of explanations. He delivered truth in the form of emotion. And that's precisely what made his confession more powerful than any formal clarification. Because what's being talked about isn't just a relationship, but trust. Moments after Jimin's interview aired, a soldier serving alongside Jungkook confirmed that the idol had watched the broadcast from inside the base. No words came from his mouth, just a blank stare and tears falling silently. That same night, Jungkook posted a single sentence on the military-exclusive fan community platform. "Sometimes someone speaks for you when you can't speak for yourself. Thank you." Signed, JK. The reaction? Countless. Even journalists who have long covered BTS called it the most personal and authentic moment in the group's history. Not long after, one by one, other members gave signs of support. RM posted a night photo with a cryptic caption, "Sometimes we must stay silent so the storm can pass." Jin wrote during his live broadcast, "Honesty can't always be explained, but you'll know when it comes from the heart." Meanwhile, V posted a short video of him playing a melancholic piano melody with the caption, "For two souls who understand each other without words." In the context of K-pop, where privacy is rare and public image is heavily guarded, this moment was a major shock. But not because of the drama, because of the honesty. Jimin didn't state whether his relationship with Jungkook was more than just friendship. He also didn't give it a label or specific confirmation. However, the emotional intensity in his words showed that whatever the relationship is, it comes from a very deep place. A place they have long protected from the outside world. People can speculate, write their own stories. But he and I know what's real, Jimin said in the final part of the interview. And in the end, that's what we're protecting. Fans who have followed their journey since debut know this isn't the first time the two have shared special moments. But only now are those moments given more concrete context. For example, the concert in the rain when Jungkook took off his jacket and draped it over Jimin's shoulders. Or during vocal practice when Jungkook sang Jimin's song part with far more emotion than expected. Now, all those pieces are starting to form a bigger picture. Not as confirmation, but as a silent admission that there are things more meaningful than what words can express. An internal agency source revealed that Jimin and Jungkook have rarely met since entering the military. However, they have continued to communicate privately. In fact, in one internal military training letter, it was revealed that Jungkook wrote an envelope with the name Park Jimin in the upper right corner, a small detail that now feels immensely significant, according to J-Hope, who has visited them separately several times. They're like two opposing poles that complement each other. I know they care deeply about one another, and that's more than enough. What does all this mean for BTS's future? Maybe this is the beginning of a new chapter. Rumors are circulating that Jimin and Jungkook are planning a special collaborative project after their military service ends. Whether it's a song, a documentary, or an open letter expressed through art, fans are bracing for something deeply personal and unlike anything they've done before. One thing is clear: this is no longer about gossip. This is about the courage to open up part of a private life with the risk of being misunderstood, just to show that they are human too, with real love, pain, and longing, and in a world that's too quick to judge, too easy to assume. Jimin's move today is not just a defense of Jungkook. He's reclaiming the narrative for those who actually live it. And the weight of silence and the blinding spotlight, two voices finally came together. Not for clarification, but to declare, we are here and we are real. Will Jungkook speak more after this? No one knows for sure. But maybe, as Jimin said, we don't always need a long explanation. Sometimes, one sentence is enough to shake the world. And today, Jimin did exactly that. 1 hour ago, but behind the flood of emotions and the outpouring of support following Jimin's statement, a fundamental question arises that must not be ignored. Is all of this truly real? Or could this merely be a series of narratives crafted to stir emotions, provoke sympathy, and indirectly rekindle media attention on BTS? We live in an era where emotions can be monetized, and where the line between fact and fiction is increasingly blurred. So, this question deserves to be asked. To what extent can the truth offered in this narrative be held accountable? We realize that all the information we've presented so far comes from various media channels, from TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, now X, to several online media outlets claiming to have internal sources. But just how valid and credible are these sources? Are we blindly swallowing a story created by the algorithm of virality? Or are we actually witnessing the most human moment ever shared by public figures as big as Jungkook and Jimin? Let's examine again. Jimin stated that Jungkook chose silence to protect. But what exactly is he protecting? Is this about a personal relationship? A professional issue? Or a symbol of the immense public pressure demanding clarity on every move of their idol? Some netizens believe this is proof of emotional closeness that has long been kept behind the scenes, yet many others say this is a marketing strategy. Isn't the K-pop industry also skilled in building narratives that seem sincere, but are carefully crafted to build emotional ties with the fanbase? If it's true that Jimin and Jungkook are preparing a collaborative project, is this disclosure part of a pre-promotion strategy? An emotional warm-up so the public feels personally connected before the product is finally released? Or, on the contrary, is this truly a spontaneous outpouring of emotion that can no longer be held back? Regardless of the consequences in the entertainment industry, statements like, "Sometimes someone speaks for you when you can't speak for yourself," carry immense emotional power,